way that isn't true to their character to bluff you. So there is a healthy degree of paranoia, and that you're never quite sure who people are. Okay?
Right.
So those are your personalities. So everybody gets one of those personalities. You have two types of pieces in the game. You have your minions, who are your general pieces that you'll be adding to the board.
Those are the ones you're trying to get, presents on the board, yeah.
And then you have buildings.
Yep.
Okay. The game itself is actually pretty simple to play in that everybody starts with 5 cards. The deck is split into 2. So there's a brown deck which goes at the bottom, and then there's a green deck that goes on top. There are reasons for that, but I'm not going to bore you with explaining that. When it is your go, you play a card and you just do what it says on the card. And the card will have one or more, well, it may have one or more symbols along the top. And that's the order in which you do them. So
you get a handy card symbol.
You've got a
sheet
handy, yes.
Shows.
So let's see if we've got a good example in here, and probably not a good example in there. But let's see if we've got one which has got, say, a number of symbols in it. So for instance, say somebody like Mrs. K, okay? The first symbol here is a scroll symbol. That means you do whatever the text
so it says
at the bottom.
on the card, okay.
Now Mrs. K has the ability, there are 7 personalities. It's a 4-player game, so with 4 players there's 3 personalities not placed. Mrs. K has the ability to kind of see into the future. She can look at 2 of the cards not in play.
So you could like eliminating some of the information. Yeah. Okay.
And then also then says take $2, and then if you want to, you can build a house.
Okay.
They're not mandatory. So that's what she can do. Somebody like the Seamstresses Guild, you choose a player, you give them a card, and they give you money. Okay, because there is an exchange going on. You should know what the Seamstresses are. Queen Molly, you have to give her a card because she's a beggar. A lot of the cards, obviously, it's Ankh-Morpork, have the little skull and crossbones symbol on, which means you play that, you remove a minion, but you can only remove a minion from an area where there's trouble.
Okay, so this is the nasty assassination.
Yes, it's a nasty assassination. If there's no trouble, you're safe. There has to be trouble for you to be vulnerable to being inhumed. Certain cards are interrupts, so for instance somebody like Wallace Sonky will protect you, obviously.
That can be played out of turn.
That can be played out of turn. Then there's obviously lots of watch cards which have, so somebody like Captain Carrot, he has the ability to remove trouble, because obviously the police remove trouble. So as much as possible, all of the characters do what they did in the book.
Yeah.
So
again, really capturing the theme.
Here and now may or may not be able to steal money. Harry King, you can use him to chuck away cards to make money. He'll turn rubbish into money. The Fire Brigade is one I quite like. If you play that on somebody, if they don't give you 5 Ankh-Morpork dollars, you can burn their house down. Okay. It's the History Monks. You shuffle the discard pile and you draw 4 cards from it because history is repeating itself. Nobby Knobs just steals stuff. The Fool's Guild took a little while to figure out in that if you play it on another player, they either give you $5 or the card stays in front of them and counts the card in their hand.
Right.
Working on their basis, there's nothing funny about the Fool's Guild.
So when are we looking to see this actually
out?
I've
not finished explaining. No,
hang on.
Later on, this is why the deck is split in 2. Later
okay, so
on,
this is like
you
the green
get
deck.
The wizards.
Okay, right.
Okay. The thing about those is, say, up to now, all of the symbols are not mandatory. There is one symbol which you must do, which is the random event.
Right.
Okay, so if you play a wizard, all of the wizards have a random event on them, which means you have to draw a random event card.
Okay.
And as every time I've demoed this game, it's always the same line. There are no good random events. Okay. This is what
this
kind
game
of
is mean.
Yeah. So you got things like subsidence, fog. The one I like best is Demons from the Dungeon Dimension, which randomly invade the board, which stop you from controlling areas.
Oh my god,
but they have
horrible.
to be. The thing is, to kill them, you can kill them like a minion. But the thing is, if somebody's really mean to you and removes the trouble marker, and then you can't kill it because it's now a law-abiding member of society.
As all demons are.
Yes. So you can. But while a demon says you can't control the area, and nor can you use the effect on the building.
Gotcha.
Because buildings have additional effects.
Okay.
So you've got other things like a lot of these destroyed buildings, explosions, riots, which may end the game, floods, which move people out, mysterious murders, fires, which may spread. Another one I quite like, the dragon. You roll an area, this is why you've got the die. You roll an area there, wherever it lands, everything is destroyed. It's like wiped out. You've got trolls that can move into the city. So again, it could be your house is built by bloody stupid Johnson, which means it's useless, and somebody will die. So it captures it as much as possible. It captures the humour of the book.
You've completely got it.
Yeah,
this is awesome.
Another one, which I know I'm going to get emails from. I know I'm going to get emails about, and I'm trying to remember which deck it's in. I think it might be in the later. No, I'm trying to remember which deck it's in. Just excuse me a moment.
Who is it?
It's the peeled nuts.
Right.
It's going to be in the other deck, I think. Let's see. Rincewind, obviously. Yeah, there we go. The peeled nuts. And I've already got emails from people because going, it's got no symbols on. Like, did you miss them off? No, we didn't. It's deliberate. They're a reenactment society, so they're completely useless. But they're not quite totally useless, because if you happen to have in your hand the peeled nuts and rosy palm, because rosy palm allows you to give a card to another player and they give you $2. So you play the rosy palm card, you give them the peeled nuts, they give you $2, and they feel well and truly a word beginning with S, which is completely in keeping with the character. So
this is horrible.
Yes.
I want it. Right. When are we going to be able to get this then?
The game is scheduled for release at the beginning of September.
Okay.
Which is earlier than we would normally do it, but we're aiming to get this into places like Waterstones and W.H. Smith's, places like that. And to get into places like that, they need it well before Christmas.
Gotcha.
So there's going to be, what I should do is also say there are going to be a number of different editions.
Right.
So
you always do like a sort of special limited one.
We're not making much money off the standard edition.
Yeah.
I mean, the government's making twice as much money than we are simply from VAT.
Fail. Right.
So there'll
What's
be
the limited going to be like?
There's going to be the standard edition, and then there is going to be the collector's edition, which will be in a tree frog sized box, same as Age of Industry. It'll have a larger map, we'll have the wooden money, which will also have Lord Veterinary's head printed on it. The standard edition will have cardboard money. It'll also have a poster with a different artwork on it, but the key difference, the really clever difference is it will not have the number 8 in it. Okay? So this will be Area 7A. So we've changed that area to 7A. That means the cards have to be printed differently because there is one card with the number area. What I should mention is if you build a building in an area, you get a card, and that gives you an additional power. So if you get the shades, it allows you to cause trouble.
Right.
If you get the scours, you can exchange cards. So you can kind of, you can go for certain areas because it will give you certain abilities that will help you achieve your ends. Yeah. So there is a card that's got number 8 on it, which will have 7A on it, so that means we have to print the cards separately.
Stuff up
and it
again.
also means the 12-sided die
needs to have a 7A.
It's going to cost me £1,400 for the tooling alone, just to change the A to a 7A.
And you're wondering why you never make any money out of games?
Well, those will only, it's going the extra mile.
This is true.
But those games will only be available direct from Tree Frogs.
Okay.
So that's how we make our money, by selling directly. And that allows us to cover what's been, I think so far we must have sunk about £25,000 into this. So it's been a massive
I think you're going to make it back. I think you're going to be okay.
I kind of figured the 7, that was an idea of a fan, that was my idea. It's you've got to carve number 8. I just thought it's wonderful, it's brilliant, because the fans will love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
It's absolutely awesome. So if you want to, obviously it's not going to be out for a little while, but when it is out, we'll be able to get it from the Tree Frog site. Where is the Tree Frog site? Please promote it.
www.treefroggames.com.
Fantastic. Martin, thank you so much indeed. It's been an absolute pleasure. I want it.
Okay.
If this disappears, you'll know where it's gone. This is Michael Fox for the UK Gaming Media Network at UK Games Expo Live 2011. See you in a bit.
Thank you. Goodbye.